It is 11 a.m. here in London. It's 6 p.m. in Hefei in China. I'm Monita Rajpal at the Olympic Park. You're watching CNN, and this is World One. We begin in China, where a murder trial involving one of the most sensational political scandals in recent times has adjourned without a verdict. Gu Kailai, the wife of a former rising star of the Communist Party and a family aide, are accused of poisoning the British businessman Neil Haywood. The case has nosedived Verjee Lai's career. Gu's husband was once destined to join China's ruling elite. Prosecutors allege Gu Kailai fell out. Gu Kailai raised no objections to the prosecution's charges. We want to take you straight now to the court in Hefei, where the trial took place under tight security. CNN producer Steve Jiang joins us down the line with more on what happened today. Stephen. This is a scandal that takes us to among the upper echelons of the ruling Chinese political party. So I'm wondering, how is this being covered in China itself, particularly by the state-run news agency?
All the state-run media actually have been ordered to strictly sticking to the official Xinhua news agency's reports on this story.
All right, Steve, thank you so much for that. Steve Jiang there reporting to us there from Hefei, where this trial is taking place. We want to see what newspapers are saying about this and how it's all this being covered around the world. Here in Britain, the Daily Telegraph's headline, "In secrecy, silence and high security, China puts Beau's wife on trial for murder." And it goes on to say details of the highly sensitive trial, deliberately relegated to a city 240 miles west of Shanghai, have been cloaked in silence. The implications of events in Hefei will stretch far beyond the courtrooms. Will lightning strike twice for Usain Bolt? Well, today we find out as the world's fastest man attempts to defend his crown in the men's 200-meter final. The Jamaican took to the Olympics track last night, finishing first in the heats with familiar ease. But today, he'll have to go head-to-head against 21-year-old fellow countryman Johan Blake, where we are right now in the medals tally. China is still on top. It leads the count with 36 golds, 2 more than the United States. Great Britain is next with 22, 10 ahead of South Korea. Russia is in 5th place with 11 gold medals. Well, our very own Zain Verjee joins us now at the Olympic Park with more on what we can expect and what's been going on, the highlights so far.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the medal count. I mean, the U.S. was all about gold last night in the track and field. I mean, they really hauled in a major amount.
Will you be defecting back to Kenya?
I'll be defecting back to Kenya.
Right. Thank you very much for that,
this evening at around 8 o'clock.
We'll see you a little bit later on. You are watching World One. Live from London. Welcome back. Monsoon rains in southern Asia are wreaking havoc in the region. In the Philippines, after days of torrential downpours and flooding, which killed at least 19 people, floodwaters are finally receding and the cleanup begins. Around 2 million people have been affected, with hundreds of thousands of people taking refuge in emergency shelters. Meanwhile, India is facing the first drought in 3 years after experiencing its weakest monsoon since 2009. Joining us now are Malika Kapoor in Mumbai and Alex Zolbert, who's in Manila. Let's begin with you, Alex. Talk to us a little about this cleanup effort going on there in the Philippines.
Hi, Monita. You know, all week we've been hearing forecasters say, we need to get to Thursday, we need to get to Thursday, just wait until Thursday.
Alex Zolbert there in Manila. Let's take you now to Mumbai and the other end of this weather pattern spectrum, and Malika Kapoor there to give us a little bit of an idea on this massive impact that this could have on the farming community there in India.
It could have a really significant impact. If you look at the farming community in India, I have to remind you that, 2/3 of India's farmlands depend simply and solely on.
Malika, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. Malika Kapoor there in Mumbai. So let's just get a check now on the forecast and what it holds for drought-stricken India and flood-stricken Philippines. Let's go to our meteorologist, Jennifer Delgado, at the World Weather Center for the forecast. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Monita. Yes, we're going to start off right now, of course, focusing on the Philippines. And the rain has been incredible there since Monday. Back over to you on a positive note. You're going to have some nice weather over there, looks like, for the next couple of days. You're getting spoiled by that sunshine.
Yeah, we certainly are. We're basking in it right now, Jen. It's pretty warm out here, so we're not complaining at all.
Take care.
Jennifer Delgado there at the World Weather Center. Thank you so much. You are watching World One live from London. Welcome back. Well, Madonna fans are waiting to see if she will use her concert in Russia's second largest city to oppose a controversial anti-gay law. The legislation passed in St. Petersburg bans promoting homosexuality in public. In her Moscow concert, Madonna supported a female punk band accused of insulting President Vladimir Putin. Phil Black has more.
When the members of Pussy Riot hastily performed in Moscow's Christ the Saviour Cathedral, Putin has said he hopes the women have learned their lesson and he doesn't think they should be punished severely. Phil Black, CNN, Moscow.
You're watching World One live from London. Egyptian troops are on the move in the Sinai Peninsula. They are looking for militants who carried out a series of attacks on the Egyptian military on the peninsula. Welcome back to the Olympic Park. Live shot there of the park itself, and more people coming in to take in some of their favorite events. And of course, one of the main events is athletics, which will be taking center stage and is taking center stage of the games this Thursday, and specifically tonight when Usain Bolt makes his bid for Olympic history. Amanda Davis joins us now with details on that.
Yeah, the morning session's already underway in the stadium, and I must tell you, within the last 5 minutes or so, some bad news for Oscar Pistorius. Of course, he made history by competing in the 400 metres. It's one of the most stunning venues at the Olympics, I think, that Horse Guards Parade, volleyball.
It's amazing to know that that's in central London.
It is, yeah.
But just in front of one of the most iconic parts of the city.
And you can see Big Ben, and I think the nighttime element. We get the weather. It stays
this way. Yeah. Amanda, thank you very much. You are watching World One live from London. Well, there's just 3 days left until the London Olympics. Welcome back. You're watching World One live from the Olympic Park. We are approaching almost 7 a.m. in New York. It's almost 1 p.m. in Berlin, and it is almost 8 p.m. for you in Tokyo. Now, the organizers of the London Olympics say they are expecting the biggest ever crowds at this year's Paralympic Games, which get underway in 3 weeks. Public interest in the Paralympics has soared following the success at the Olympic Park. With more on that.
Can you believe that? More tickets than ever in history have been sold for the Paralympics. So basically what's happening is the Olympics this time around have given a real boost to the Paralympics, which is such a great encouragement for the athletes themselves.
Spoke to Nelson Mandela's grandson. Tell us about what he's had to say.
That's great. Well, he has this really cool project, and basically what he's been doing is talking to inner city kids and giving them cameras. And so what they've been doing is showing us their side of the Olympics. So I had a chat with him over in Hyde Park, and after we did the Bolt, he told me a little bit about the project. Watch this.
We chose 8 young photographers from underprivileged townships around South Africa to come and work on an intensive 4-week course where they were taught how to use photography.
So that's just a snapshot of what some of those kids are doing. Some great pictures. They're not professionals, but they're fabulous. Fun.
Pretty good ones, yeah. Zain, thank you very much for that. Now let's switch gears a little bit, shall we? And we talk a lot about countries, especially with the Olympics and everything. But here's something we want to ask you now. What do you do if your country has a problem with low fertility and an aging population? Well, you encourage people to get busy. Literally. That's at least what Mentos, the mint maker, is suggesting Singaporeans do.
Mint?
Parade is long gone. The kids are in bed. Let's not watch fireworks. Let's make them instead. Yeah.
What to do? Close your eyes and think of Singapore, as one does. On that note,
actually, I'm taking a trip there soon.
You're watching World One live from the Olympic Park in London. I'm Monita Rajpal. And that's Zain, Verjee. Thanks for joining us. We'll update you in the news headlines after this.